welcome back after a 2-week hiatus. All my fault. Welcome to Ladies' Night. I'm Carrie, and this is.
Jerry,
There we go. We planned that on
not the
purpose.
reason for the hiatus.
No, definitely not. It's all my fault. I'm the evil person. I apologize. Last week the it was the day after the Fourth
Vacation.
of July, which was actually because the Fourth was on a
Last
Sunday.
week was your
I'm
vacation.
sorry, 2 weeks
Week
ago.
before that.
Right, 2 weeks ago was the 4th of July, but it was the 5th. But it was like the official day, like if because it was on a Sunday. So Kevin had off, and so we wanted to go golfing, so we went off, and then I wasn't back in time, and then the following Monday was when I was on vacation. I was in Nantucket, which was beautiful, lovely, incredibly ridiculously expensive. Thank God we were able to stay there for free. So, as Jerry pointed out last night when Kevin and I were on our show, our car got a very expensive vacation sitting in the parking lot for was it $40, $120? I forget. It was a lot. 120.
Okay, I got dumped for a guy. It's all right. I understand.
Yeah, you know how it is. You know, he's
I can't say it's
cute.
the first time that happened.
Hey, I was dumped for a guy too. Wait, not really, but yeah, kind of.
Dumped because of the male species. Let's put it that
There we
way.
go. There we go. Male species is a very confusing thing. They say females are confusing. Humph. So, oh,
The easiest way to shut a man down, just hit him in the nuts. They can't talk for at least 5 minutes.
that's true. I've never purposely done that to anybody yet. Yet. I said
Oh
yet.
God, I've done that to so many men. I'm probably responsible for the decline in population.
Good. We need, decrease the surplus population, as Scrooge would say.
Me, oh humbug.
But you were also a bouncer at a strip club, so I'm sure
Yes, I
you
was.
had some chances to do that then, right?
Actually, I never had to.
Oh, wow, that was good.
I relied on my arm strength.
Nice,
I did
nice.
the old grab the arm, twist it up behind their back deal.
Gotcha. Oh, you're good.
Worked every time.
Well, they don't expect it from a woman, right? So you've got the element of surprise working for you, and then boom.
Especially a woman in 3-inch stiletto
Yeah,
heels.
right. I love it.
I made a lot of money at that job. I really wish I could go back to that job.
Yeah, but you can't. That sucks.
No, I got too many. I'm too old now for that. I'd probably break my own arm
Okay. You know,
walking in the heels. No.
Speaking of arms, I have the weirdest thing
Yes.
going on with me. So when we were on vacation, the bed that we were in looked like it was going to be awesome. It was like really high up and nice and flat. It was a nice bed, but I guess my body was not used to it, and so I wound up with like this like in my shoulder blade, like this really sore spot. And so like I've gotten like that before, and Kevin's like rubbed it, and like a day or two, sometimes 3 days, and it goes away. Well, it finally went away, but my whole arm from my elbow down on the right side is like weak. Like literally, like I was driving and Jeep drivers, like Wranglers, like we do this like a two-finger like wave, and I went to do it, and like my hand, I was like I was in slow motion. I'm like, what the hell? Like my ring finger, my pinky finger are like have lost strength. Like I'm trying to like put a clip in my hair today and I could barely squeeze it. I'm like, what the hell? It's like I'm some little old lady with like no arm strength, no hand strength. Trying to open a can today was ridiculous.
Hey,
I'm like,
watch that old lady stuff about fingers, lady.
hey lady, I'm not the one tripping and falling. Although I did in Nantucket and had to get new shoes because they ripped.
I still can't use my pinky and my ring finger on my right hand right.
So now I mean I can like sort of so and I need to do your physical therapy. Like you have to tell me what you're doing because I need to do something. This
All
is
right.
insane.
What you need to do is you need to get modeling clay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not kidding here. You need to get
Okay.
like a handful of modeling clay,
Okay.
any color, any kind, just the actual clay.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be the Crayola kind that you don't have to bake. And you just put it in your hand and just squeeze it like a stress ball.
Well, what about like so I have this it's
And
like a
and
sand
with the
filled
pinky
thingy. What
and
about
thumb,
that?
no, there's not enough resistance.
Okay.
The clay is harder than Play-Doh and harder than the squishy balls.
Okay.
So it actually gives you resistance. You really have to like squeeze it.
Right.
And because it's the last two fingers, I can tell you exactly what you can do
Yeah.
even without that. Take your thumb and pull it to your pinky. Take your thumb and pull it to your ring finger and keep going back and forth.
Gotcha.
and that strengthens the fingers.
It's really hard to do that to my pinky.
It
It's
is, isn't
insane.
it?
It's terrible. It's like my thumb is pulling. It's like nothing wants to
Yeah.
work right. It's the weirdest thing.
I don't know. You must have slept on a nerve.
Yeah, I think I pinched a
You
nerve.
probably
It's
pinched the nerve,
yeah. I
and
have
the
a
hand
spot.
knows are tough.
I do have a spot in the back of my neck to the right. So if you go right to the center of your neck, and then in the
Hmm.
back, and then go like down to like where there's like that little bump, I guess, of the vertebrae or whatever, like right about kind of in line with your shoulders. Go to that and go a little to the right, and that area on my neck is like numb. It's been numb for a long time, so I'm sure I have some sort of kind of
Sleeping on sleeping on different pillows and a different bed
yeah. Oh, the pills are terrible.
can do that.
Gotcha.
That can really mess you up, and it could take time for your body to readjust to your bed and your mattresses again.
Gotcha. Yeah, because even for a while, like I took a nap before the show, old lady here, um, and I did, um, and
Two old ladies. That's what we should call the show.
oh, there we go, old ladies' night. There we go. Yes, we'll tell you
Cougar
how
night.
to clean your granny panties. There you go. Um,
No, I don't know. Sorry.
I don't
No,
have
no,
those
no,
either. I
no.
don't have those either.
Nope.
Um,
They took out the crib. I got rid of the granny panties.
There you go. But yeah, like I like was sleeping and I had to actually sleep on the side that hurt, because I slept on my other side, which seems counterintuitive. But if I slept on my other side, it would start to ache and like really hurt. Today was the first
Mhm.
day that it's not doing that, so that's good.
Yeah, but I'm serious about the hand though. If those two fingers get modeling clay,
All right, I'm definitely gonna do that. And
like
right
you can get
now,
the Crayola modeling clay at like Walmart or
right.
whatever.
Well, for now, I do have, like I said, it was a
A
gag
squishy
gift.
ball.
It was well, no, it was a gag gift that my ex-husband gave to my current husband, and it's like one of those like sand filled. It's kind of like well, it's a sausage. Let's
I
just be
know what it
honest.
is.
Yeah, and so it's sand filled, and it is very like because it's tight. It's kind of it's not like soft, and it's kind of like you got to really kind of like squeeze it and like kind of move it. So I was doing yes as I'm squeezing my sausage, um, but I was
You're
doing that
speaking
last
Kevin
night. Yeah,
sausage that was given to you by yours. Oh
I
my
know,
god!
right? I know. So
If that ain't a porno, I don't know what is.
right? The title of my sex tape. There we go. So anyhow, so I've been using that, and now I'm doing, and it's so funny. And now this is gonna sound really weird too, but you know how like you were saying about using your pinky and your thumb, and then your ring finger and your thumb, like reaching and stretching. I
Mhm.
already do that a lot because I have like this weird like OCD habit with my fingernails when they get to a certain length that I'm constantly like rubbing them on my thumb. I don't ask me why. It's a weird. I had it as a little kid. I used to do it, and so I do that all the time anyhow, which is really difficult to do that right now with my right hand, which is weird. But I'm doing that now as we speak. So it's kind of like the same idea. So it's better
You
on my
just
ring
got me
finger.
doing that. Stop it. Actually, what I do is I take my thumb and I rub the top of my nail on
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
finger.
yeah. It's like you get that little
Yep.
ridge, right? And it's got like that little like sort of like gritty vibration kind of thing.
Not mine. They're polished.
Oh yeah, I don't have not. Yeah, my nails are bad. So
I actually have to cut mine again. They're getting my nails for some reason are growing like weeds. I can't stand
mine
it.
are growing pretty good too, and that's not normal for me. I don't know what's going on. It's the humidity. It's the
We'll blame it on
humidity.
that.
Yeah.
Sure. I know what that's causing the pain is the humidity, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, so here's another old lady thing while we're talking about old ladies. Um, I was having the biggest problem. Like today is the first day that it's not. And now, for granted, I'm definitely overweight. That's part of it. FYI, I started Weight Watchers 3 weeks ago, and I'm down almost 11 pounds, even when I was on vacation. So I'll take it. So I'm hoping it's going to take a while though. But
Sorry, I don't have an applause button. Sorry.
that's okay. But not that you would notice it because I gained a lot of weight. So, but I'm happy with that. Well, anyhow, so my ankles and my feet I've been having problems with them swelling up, like getting they call it edema.
Hmm.
And I know that the heat can cause it, and like the humidity, and like today my feet are actually almost normal, and I've actually bought a thing for under my desk so that I can keep my feet elevated because it's been so bad. Like it's like Do you ever have problems with that? Because it's
Yes.
embarrassing. Like I won't wear anything like short, like I don't wear shorts, but I have like the pedal pusher things, and I'm like I'm not wearing those. People are gonna look at me like, holy shit, elephant legs there.
Yeah, I got elephant trunks too, so it's all
Ugh,
good.
it,
But
it's annoying.
I find my feet swell more like if I've had too much salt,
Right,
which happens,
right. I know if I sit a lot
I
too.
don't add salt to things, but things have salt in it.
Right,
Um, or if I've been walking a lot.
gotcha.
And if you did a lot of walking on your vacation, which I'm gonna assume you
Yes, a
did,
lot. Yeah, a lot, a
that
lot.
that can cause the edema.
Oh,
And if you were more active on vacation than you are now, which I'm
yeah,
assuming you are,
yeah.
um, your body doesn't know what to do with the fluid.
Hmm.
So the first place your body's going to send it is to your feet.
Yeah. And I have bad circulation in my legs, my lower legs too, so I know that's a problem. Ugh.
That's the first place your body's going to send it. I know my husband had heart failure,
Mm.
and we didn't know it, but we had been fishing, and he went into the bathroom after the day fishing at the restaurant, and he came back out and he goes, "When we get to Uncle Blake's, because that's who we were with, when we get to his house, I need you to check it something." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." I'm thinking bee bite or something, yeah.
Right.
He goes, "Put your hand down my pants." I'm like, "Right here in the middle of the drive-thru? Like, what's wrong with you?" And he goes, "No, there's a problem. I need you." I'm like, "A problem down your pants? Yeah, okay." It's like,
Heard
"Christian,
this
just
one
do it."
before.
It's like, "Just do it." And now I could see he's getting mad, so something's wrong.
Right.
Well, I stick my hand in there. I'm like, "Holy shit!" His testicles swelled,
Oh my god.
and they're usually about the size of a golf ball,
Right.
each one. At this point, they were already like a small, like clementine.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, "Oh shit." And he's like, "And it's worse." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I noticed it at the restaurant." I'm like, "Why didn't you see something then?"
Right? Yeah, this is
Because here
bad.
we are an hour later,
Yeah.
and then it's another 45 minutes to home, which is 45 minutes to the hospital. So he's like, "I think I need to go to the hospital." I said, "You think? Your
Right,
nipples
right.
aren't supposed to be bigger." So, and he's like, "My legs, I can't really move my legs." And what was weird was we were in his dad's car, which was a Lincoln Navigator.
Mm.
They're big
Oh yeah, they're huge.
and they have a lot of room inside.
Yes.
He actually told his dad he needs to get a bigger vehicle with more room inside
Whoa.
because he was filling it up.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Holy crap." I'm like, "Something ain't right." So we get to the hospital, and I'm thinking maybe he like got stung by something in his
Right.
pants,
Or
you
it's some
know?
some some crazy allergy you never knew about or
Yeah, and he's like, "Maybe we'll just go home because we had to pass the home exit, and I'll take a cold shower and see if that helps." And I'm like, "All right." As we're driving, he's like, "No, head to the hospital.
wow.
Something's
Yeah.
not right."
And if he's like
Um,
most men, when they say that, look out, it's time to
yeah.
go.
And with him, he never got sick unless he got sick.
Right.
It was never minor. Like he wouldn't wake up one day and say, "Oh, my throat's itchy. I'm getting a cold." No, he would wake up and have the cold. So we get to the hospital and he is completely swollen. I mean, I could see his hands, everything.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Okay, something's not right." They take him back and it's like they rush him in through the processing. And I'm like, "Why are they rushing so much?" Like, "What's going on?" And then finally they're like, "All right, we're taking him right back right now." I'm like, "Okay." "We're taking him to the heart wing." I'm like, "What?"
Oh
Hold
boy.
on.
Yeah. What do you
I just
mean?
found out I'm pregnant. I just found
Jeez.
out I was pregnant.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, "Uh-huh." And they're like, "Yeah, he's having heart failure." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Whoa.
I'm like, "Someone explain this to me."
And
And
that
they're like,
sounds
"We
so
don't have time
scary.
right now."
Yeah.
So they rush him back, and then I was able to go with them. The doctor comes in, they do some tests. They could put how you can tell how bad your swelling is you push on your shin bone, and if it doesn't bounce right back,
Yeah.
you have too much edema.
If there's an indent, yeah, if it
Yeah.
stays, yeah, yeah.
And the longer it stays, the worse it
Yeah.
is. Well, he could push a whole fist in,
Whoa.
and it would just stay. His sneakers were literally like busting at the seams.
Oh jeez.
His pants, he had on camouflage pants,
Uh-huh.
the army ones
Right.
that are always baggy. No, these they had to cut off him because they couldn't get him off.
Oh my god. Holy shit. And this
That,
just happened
and they
like
were
all at
loose
once? It wasn't
when
like a
he put
slow
them
thing?
on. When he put them on that morning, they were loose.
Wow.
Now, the night before, we had had Chinese food.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so maybe,
So we
right.
thought he was a little swollen from that. And then he
Right.
started throwing up the night before, and we thought, well, it was bad Chinese food.
Right.
Not uncommon in Maryland.
Right.
Well, needless to say, no, he was having heart failure then.
Wow.
And what happens is his mitral valve got stuck open. So the blood was just constantly pushing,
Oh boy.
and it had no way to control it. So it had all this fluid that had nowhere to go.
Right.
So, like I said, it starts in your feet, which is really weird. You would think it would start in your upper body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it goes right to the lowest part of your body. Then
Wow.
it'll go to your stomach, then it'll go to your hands, then in your arms.
Right.
Well, he was so bad they had to almost cut his wedding ring off.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was really bad. And I mean, he was in full heart failure.
Jesus.
Luckily, they monitored him, they put him on all kinds of medications, and they're like, you have to have a valve replacement and you have to have another one repaired. And we're like, oh shit. And I'm panicking. He
Right.
tells the doctor, he's like, look, she's like only a month pregnant. It's a high risk pregnancy. Is there any way we can monitor this so she doesn't have the stress of me going through the surgery and then have it done after the baby? The doctor said, I'll give you a month. We'll monitor you. We'll see what's happening. And then we'll decide every month, come in and we'll decide if we can prolong it.
Right.
Well, needless to say, I decided to go early with the baby and almost have the baby in December, which we would have lost her if that happened. So I ended up on bed rest. So here's this guy with heart
Wow.
failure, working like 70 hours a week, sleeping and staying in the hospital with me, never
Jeez.
left my side, and except to work. And then I ended up having my daughter early, like everyone knows already. We've had that story. And a month after she came home, he went in and had open heart surgery, and he had a mechanical heart valve in his mitral, and his other minor heart valve needed to be sewn.
Wow.
And that's what kept him alive.
Jeez. That's scary shit, especially since it just seemed to come out of nowhere.
And it was funny because just on Facebook, yeah, it did come out of nowhere. There was no warning other than the doctor told us him throwing up was probably the warning.
Yeah, but that was only like a day
Who would have thought?
before.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, right? I mean,
But it just came up on Facebook memories 2 days ago, where I had come home from work and he was swelling up, and
wow.
he spent a week in the hospital because his meds got messed up.
Jeez.
So,
Yeah, that's
yep, he
scary
had come
stuff.
home on my birthday.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, when you hear the term heart failure, like, and one of the things I know, like, my dad had congestive heart failure. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my God, he's dying. And it's like, no. I mean, yes, if you're not treated, but,
right.
it's a scary, scary thing. Yeah.
They
I mean,
said had we have waited probably 15 minutes more,
oh
he
boy.
probably wouldn't have made it.
Wow. And he wanted to stop and take a shower. Oh, thank God he didn't.
Yeah. No, I apologize to nurses and everybody. I'm like, we smell like fish. I'm really sorry. Like, we've had people come and smell like puke. It's okay. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
right. Yeah. I'm sure they've
Fish is
seen and
better than
smelled
puke.
far worse.
But the lady was really nice because I felt really skanky
Hmm.
and it was nighttime. So I didn't want to go home because I didn't know what was going on with him.
Right, right.
I wanted to stay. So the one nurse was like, here's a shower kit. Here's some scrubs. Go, clean up. And I was
Wow.
like, oh, thank God. Thank you.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they were really nice at the hospital. So, but everyone in that hospital knew me already because I had just had all the drama with my life. So,
Right, right. Oh my gosh.
yep, yep, yep. So, anywho, so that's why you need to watch your edema, people. If it gets too much,
Yeah,
see a doctor.
yeah,
If it doesn't go away,
yeah. Mine usually goes like
but
when I
if
go
you
to
just put
bed.
your feet up and you just relax and
Yes,
it goes down, you're
yes,
fine.
yeah, yeah.
That's
I
just
know.
overworking.
Yeah, yeah. But it's just, it's crazy. Like, like, and, you think about like the body has so many really cool, like, warning signals built in if you just, know what to look for. But then again, if you go on to WebMD, then all of a sudden you're dying of all kinds of diseases. It's like, calm down, calm down.
Or if you tell your doctor you didn't get vaccinated, boom, you got COVID. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
right.
No, I just had a stomach bug, a summer
Ah,
bug. And that
gotcha.
was the funniest thing about my doctor. I wanted to kill her. This is not going to get political. We're not going to talk about vaccines, but I just have to say, I went into the doctor because I was feeling like death.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go to the doctor, I'm sick.
Right.
And I'm like, chest pains, a throat that felt like something was like choking me,
Mm-hmm.
and an earache. Like I had pain in my ears.
Oh,
So I'm like, what the heck is
especially
going on?
in July.
Yeah. So I'm like, something's not right. So I went, and she's like, oh yeah, and a killer headache. She's like, oh yeah, I have the same symptoms. It's just a summer bug that's going around. It's kind of like the flu, but it's not. It just takes a couple days to pass. Just take some epinephrine and some cold cough medicine. You'll be
Mm-hmm.
fine. Okay. She goes, when did you get your vaccine? I said, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, oh my God, then it could be COVID. You have to go across the street. You have to go to urgent care. You have to get tested, and I'll have the test results in a couple of days. Like all of a sudden, she like went into this whole spiel about COVID and this new strain that's coming out, and that could be what it is. And I'm like, you just told me it's a summer bug.
Yeah.
Now it's COVID. I'm like, I don't have a fever. I'm not coughing. I don't feel sick. Like I don't feel like I'm going to throw up.
Right.
I don't think I have COVID. She's like, you never know. It starts in different ways, and you had tightness in your chest. And I'm like, oh my God, I should have kept my mouth shut and just said I was. But
Wow.
that's my
Yeah.
deal. Doctors are full of malarkey half the time.
Yeah. No, you have to. I've seen that like, uh, you know, and we've had discussions about like different things like the doctors, everyone says, oh, fat's the bad, is the enemy, it's going to clog up your arteries, and they talk about too much salt, but they never talk about all the sugar and everything. Like if you look at anything that you can, any package item like other than like vegetables, canned vegetables, you're going to see like high fructose corn syrup is in everything. So you're telling me that that's not the so like I've learned not to, whatever the doctor, I used to be like, well, if the doctor's saying it must be true, and now I've learned that that's not the case, and it took me a while, but I do my own research, and yeah, that
I look back at like my grandmother and Sean's grandmother. My grandmother lived to be 75. My
mm-hmm,
mom lived to be 72.
mm-hmm.
She was a coal miner's daughter. So you want to talk about eating crab food? Yeah, they ate
Right,
crab
yeah,
food.
yeah,
It was full of lard and butter and whatever else can make it stretch.
yeah,
And Sean's grandmother, she lived to be 98.
mm-hmm,
And what did she live on? Lard,
yep,
bacon, fat,
yep.
butter,
Was
biscuits.
she a
I mean,
farmer?
beef. Her family was a farmer.
Yep, yep.
And it's like now it's like, oh my God, you don't use lard. Don't keep your bacon grease. Oh my God, don't use bacon.
Yeah, no, it's a bunch of crap.
But they used to live so much longer. And now it's like you're seeing people dying of heart failure and
Yep,
heart attacks and stuff, like I just
yep,
said, in their 30s.
yeah. It's terrible. And I have to say, I feel like the modern convenience foods, if you will, and the whole idea of low fat and everything else, because you have to replace the flavor somehow. So you do things that are low fat, then they add more sugar and crap. So,
Hmm.
I don't remember now. I know that, we're of a certain age, that, they may not have had this really so much, when we were in elementary school. I don't remember a lot of it, but then again, we were kids too. But like all this ADHD and everything else, I,
Nope.
I feel like all this stuff like started happening in like the late 80s, early 90s. And, people are saying all kinds of things like, oh, it's chemicals and this and that and whatever. I'm like, maybe it's chemicals in the food. Have you looked at what you're feeding your, I'm not making any, you know, I'm not a parent, and I mean, but like, and I know food is expensive because holy fucking shit, I went to the grocery store today and spent $250 for two
On
people.
nothing.
Holy shit.
On nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Like I didn't
Yeah.
buy any meats. I bought 2 pieces of cod. That's the only, and eggs. Like I didn't buy any because we get our meat somewhere else, and like I didn't buy any. So what the? And I'm not buying like as my mom would call it, schleck. I didn't buy anything like I literally bought fresh produce and like dairy products and like like a few
The
like
fresh
canned
produce is what
items.
they'll kill you.
Holy
The fresh
crap.
produce is what kills you.
Yes, and it never used to be like that. Holy
Nope.
I bought. Oh my god, I went to get I wanted to get some corn on the cob, and so I didn't see the fresh and the like the sheaves or
Stuff
whatever you
you
want to
want.
call it. Yeah, and so I saw like a package and it was already cleaned. I'm like, oh, I don't mind cleaning it, but actually we like it better not cleaned because Kevin will put it in water and then throw it on the grill, and it's amazing. And then it comes right all off with the silk and all. But so it was 5 ears of corn for $5. I'm like, that's $1 an ear. What the
Yep.
hell? And then by the time I got all the way to the end to the dairy section, and most grocery stores are like the perimeter, we know, like the produce is on one end and usually dairy's on the opposite end. So I get over there and I see this older gentleman, and he had the corn that I was looking for. I'm like, oh shit, it must be here somewhere. So I go all the way fucking back, and I find the corn, and it's 5 years for $2. I'm like, you're charging an upgrade of $3 to clean this. Get the hell out of here! Like it's. I also remember being able to get a dozen ears of corn for like $3. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what is happening? Like this whole supply and I'm sorry, I totally went off, but it's just like saying is healthier foods, they cost more. But like
Hmm.
maybe that could be part of the problem. Like I mean, kids eating like, all this kind of like garbagey stuff, I mean, I know you can only, watch what they eat like when they're home and once they're out the door, kind of who knows what. But I really feel like, that could be a big part of our problem in this society with, at least in America, because I feel like the ADHD problem is, and autism and all that is like really, really big here, more so than in other countries that perhaps eat better.
Here's my thought on the ADHD and the hyperactivity and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Um, I agree. We didn't have it as much in our age group.
Right.
Granted, my first husband had it. Believe me, he had it.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a latchkey kid.
Mm-hmm.
So he pretty much ate whatever he wanted and he stayed in the house. He
Yep.
didn't go out and play.
Yep.
Now, that's where I'm leading is I don't think so much as it's just what people are eating
Mm-hmm.
that's causing it. I know a lot of these new parents are blaming the vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Bad news for you, honey. I had all the vaccines.
Yeah.
My daughter had all the vaccines,
Yep.
and she ain't got it.
Right. Same
One
here.
in a million might get
Yeah.
the after effects or the causes. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It does. I get it. Don't be sending me hate mail. Uh,
Right.
but I think a lot of it has to do with when the moms went back to work
Right.
and the kids started being latchkey kids,
Yeah.
which was in the 80s. That was the big
Yep.
thing, latchkey kids.
Yep.
And having to stay in the house because mom and dad didn't want you out when no one was home,
Right.
unless you were at a friend's house and
Right.
that mom knew you.
Right.
Um, so, and then later in the 80s and 90s, games became very active.
Yep.
And what did the kids do? Yeah, they'd go over to Johnny's house, but instead of
But
going out and playing tag or
right. They just
cops and
ride your
robbers or whatever,
bikes or yeah.
they played video
Yeah.
games. So they had no, and so you would be sitting in school all day. You
Mm-hmm.
come home, you're sitting at home doing nothing. You have dinner, then you're doing your homework or you're doing
Mm-hmm.
nothing. And the kids weren't as active. So
True.
I think they didn't have, and they still don't have the means to burn off the
Right.
energy. So it's built inside and they're using it other ways
Mm-hmm.
and they get bored.
Yeah.
And right away, as soon as a child seems to be bored and getting into trouble, they think, oh, it's ADHD.
Yeah.
He must be hyperactive because he's pulling the TV off the stand. No, he's got too much energy.
Yeah.
Get him outside. Get him
Yeah.
riding a
Go
bike.
and
Get him playing
do. Yeah.
ball.
Yep.
Something. Get them outside in the fresh air.
Yep.
And I bet you a lot of those numbers would come way
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. And like
Because my girlfriend has two kids that are diagnosed with it. They're on medication for it. Because when they're in school, they are holy terrors. They cannot keep
right.
their concentration where it needs to be. So they were put on medication. During this winter months when they really can't get outside, it is a lot worse. Even the medication doesn't always help. But in the summertime when they can get out, they can almost get off their meds
Right.
because they're out, they're doing, they're
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. It's again not a parent, so and I know it's not an easy job, but like
No.
I remember, I remember like growing up, I was outside all the time. Like I was always like walking in the woods or playing games or playing war with my I was a tomboy, so I played with the guys, so we'd roll down hills and like so we were very active, ride my bike everywhere.
Took the bike everywhere. We
Yeah,
rode
yeah,
skateboards. We
yeah,
played stickball in the
yep.
street,
I played
looking for the
softball.
cars.
Yep. The only the only
You didn't come back inside until you were called for lunch,
right.
called for dinner, and
Yep.
the street lights came on.
Yep. Yeah. We didn't have cell
Those were your
phones, and we were
cues.
okay.
Yeah,
I
we're
the
okay a little bit,
we
sort of, kind of,
moved
maybe.
we moved from where I was born to Tunkhannock, and the house there. I mean, like I was outside all the time. I was fishing and all that too. But we were on top of this. It was called Freer Hill was the name of the road, and it's this big hill. Like going downhill, not a problem. Coming back up, it was really bad. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't ride my bike into town too often. My dad would come down to the bottom of the hill. Like I'd call him from like the gas station across and be like, I'm ready to be picked up because it was a bitch. It's like a mile long hill. It was big. So he would come down and get me, throw the
You
bike in
were
the
lucky.
truck.
My mom didn't drive.
Oh, gotcha.
My
But
mom did not drive.
oh wow.
So if you had to go somewhere, you like my sister would drive you, but she worked. She was
Oh.
14 years older than me.
Why did mom
So
not
she
drive?
worked. She was a stay-at-home mom.
Well,
She
my
didn't
mom was a
work.
stay-at-home mom too, but she drove.
My mom got her license when she was with my father,
Hmm.
and he drove her crazy, picking on her and nitpicking and drove her nuts while she was
Hmm.
driving and she almost crashed. And then to spite him, she got her own car right after they split. She got her own car, she renewed her license, and not even a day into having her license, she got the car stuck on a concrete wall. So
Oh my God.
my mom was not meant to be a driver, just
Gotcha.
not.
Gotcha.
So she always renewed her license. She always had an active license
Hmm.
in case it was ever an emergency, she could drive.
Hmm.
But no, if we went somewhere, we had to find our way back.
Gotcha.
Like my brother one time was punished in the front room of the house. He crawled out the window and walked from Prospect Park to Clifton, which is quite a way to
Hmm.
go. He rode his bike there. And I'd say it by bike, I think it took him like an hour and a half.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So my grandmother called my mom and said, do you know Rich is here? And she's like, no,
Wow.
how did he get there? She goes, he rode his bike out. He's just having something to drink and then I'll bring him home. She goes, oh, no, you won't. And my
Make him
grandma said,
ride
but
home.
he's exhausted.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. And she's like, nope, he will ride his bike home. He got there by bike. He will get home by
There you
bike.
go.
And he did. And as soon as he came in, my mom started whipping him with my stepfather's belt.
Yeah.
That was the only punishment like that I ever remember
Hmm.
because she was so mad at him, but
Yeah,
so
for
relieved he
sneaking
was
out too.
okay
Yeah.
because he snuck out. And it was during somebody's birthday for some reason. We had cake and she went to bring him a piece of cake and say, okay, you can come out. And then he wasn't there.
Right.
And then she panicked.
Of course.
We're all looking for him and everything else.
So it caused a whole
So
big stir for everything,
big
and it
stir
interrupted
for
the
everything.
birthday. And
Panicked my
yeah.
mom, like, whoa. And when he got home, she took the belt and she was like one step away from child abuse on that one.
She was
And
so angry. Yeah.
him and my stepfather did not get along.
Hmm.
They butted heads all the time, but they were both Tauruses, so they butted heads like oh.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
So my stepdad actually stepped between her and my brother
Wow.
to stop her because she was not going to stop, and he was afraid he was going to kill him, like
Wow.
literally. So yeah, but that's what I grew up in. It was like if you got somewhere, you got home.
Right. Yeah.
It's like I'm going to Susie's house. Okay, fine. Be back before the street lights come on. Oh
Right.
crap, the lights are starting to come on, and I have 20 minutes to get home.
Right.
Luckily, Susie's mom would usually say, "I'll take you home." Like, oh God, like oh, thank you. But that was back in the day when you could trust,
Yeah.
fathers and
Oh
mothers, and
yeah. Yeah.
everybody knew everybody.
Yeah. It's weird now. Like it's just like I don't know. And like you said, a lot of people have both people, mom and dad have to work, and or you have like single moms or single dads, and of course they're working, and yeah, that's not like it's so weird to think that like our childhoods were so different than most everyone starting pretty much in the 80s, like you said. That's when a lot of the women started going back into the workforce and all.
I'm having a tough time. Like, I'm single, as we all know, and I have my daughter. Well, she's in color guard.
Right.
She's color guard for the band. Yay! And she's really good. I'm impressed. I watch from afar. But I actually have some video. Shh, don't tell her. But
Oh, I'm telling.
but anyway, like they have practice on
Hmm.
Friday from 1 in the afternoon till 3 or 1:30 to 3. Yeah, it was 1:30 to 3. I'm like, that's smack in the middle of the day. I'm like, if I had a job, how would I get her there and
Yeah.
back?
Yeah.
not that I don't have a job, I do, but luckily what I'm doing right now, I'm not in a workplace.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like if I
Yeah.
didn't have the flexibility, like
Yeah.
next week, well, this week, she has band tomorrow from 1:30 to 3. Then she has band Thursday from 4 to 6, 5, no, 5 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then she has band Friday, 1:30 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if I had a office 9 to 5 job
Yeah.
or a job at Weiss where my schedule's all over the place,
Yeah.
how would she get to all these practices?
No, it's really
It's like
tough.
when I was in high school, I lived literally 1.6 miles from school. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I did walk a mile to school each way, uphill both ways in the snow because the hill went up and then down.
Gotcha.
You had to get up the hill to go down the hill. So both ways there was a hill going up, and I had to prove it to my daughter. So, but anyway, I used to walk that for practices, and I would do the whole however many hours of practice it was, and then walk home. And I was lucky there was a deli halfway, so I could stop and get a Gatorade.
Right. There you go.
The guys knew when band was over. They saw me coming. They had the Gatorade waiting on the counter. But I'm like, I didn't have to worry about my mom or dad. They both by then they were both working.
Right.
But I'm like, what if
Yeah, it's hard. I
I'm
mean,
like,
once
I
the
don't
kids
know
get
how
their
you do
driver's license, it's easier. But like up until
it.
like 16, that's a long time.
Is it really easier?
Well, then
Think
I
about
know,
it.
then you get nervous, but at least you don't
Yeah.
have to, the
I have to
parents
wonder
don't have to.
how many kids is she piling in the car? Is she following the rules? Is she on her phone?
Yeah.
Is somebody else on their phone?
Yeah.
Drive defensively, not offensively. I'm dreading it. I am dreading it. I know I'm going to be a nervous wreck the
Yeah.
first time she goes on her own.
Yeah.
I'm not even teaching her. I can't. I have acknowledged the fact that I cannot teach my daughter to drive because we went to Hershey Park. And you know how they have the car that's on the rail and you have to just keep the car straight?
Yeah.
She couldn't.
She's
We were
probably doing
bouncing
it on
and
purpose.
popping all over that rail, and I'm like getting whiplash. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. I can't. Like I tried to tell you got to keep it straight. I am. I'm like, no, you're not, or we wouldn't be hitting the rail. So I'm like, I can't do it. And I told my one friend, and he's like, don't worry, I'll teach her. It's
There you
all good.
go.
He's like, I taught my daughter. I can teach Kathleen. I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, no, I can't do it. But
My
anyway,
dad used to let me, terrible idea, but we lived on a very long dirt road. It was a dead end road. There was only maybe 5 houses back there. And so we'd have to take the garbage out once a week, and we had to like my dad had to put it in like the pickup truck and go all because they didn't come down the road. It had to go to the end, and I mean we're talking it was like a mile. It wasn't like a little short dead end road. It was like a mile long road, and so he always would let me like sit on his lap and steer while he
oh
worked the gas
yeah,
and brake. And then like he'd let me
yep.
go out on the roads a little bit. And then I was like 9 or 10. And then I remember like the first time he let me actually drive the whole thing. I was probably like 11 or 12 years old and taking out about 11, taking it down the road. And I was so excited. But so yeah, he taught me how to drive. He did a great job. So I think I'm a pretty good driver. But I was in college and wound up getting a used Subaru, a little Subaru four-wheel drive, vehicle. It was a great little car. I loved it, and it was a stick shift. I was like, oh, and because my dad paid for it since I was in college and I was commuting. And it was like, I don't know, it was like $2,000 or something like that. It wasn't like, a crazy car or anything. And so he's like, I'll teach you how to drive it. And I remember we got almost all the way home. And then he's like, okay, let's switch and to see if you can do it. Well, I kept stalling. I kept stalling. My dad was the most patient man in the world. He had patience of a saint and he lost his shit when I couldn't. I can now drive a stick shift, but I mean, I learned then, but like, that's the only time I ever heard him get frustrated and kind of like yell at me. He's like, get out of the car. I'm driving. I was like, oh, Dad, don't get mad at me.
My dad taught me how to drive too. And the
No.
first thing he did, because I had driver's ed in school behind the wheel,
Right.
first thing he did, he got in the car. He goes, okay, now, what did you learn in driver's ed? I said,
Unlearn
do
all that
I
you
have
have
to show
learned.
you everything? He goes, well, do me a favor. I'm like, okay. He goes, And I'm thinking he's going to make me list everything, check your
Mm-hmm.
mirror, check this, da, 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 da,
Right.
da. He goes, forget everything they
Yep.
taught you.
Because you'll never
Rule
really do
number
that.
one, forget everything they taught you.
Do it
I'm
until
like,
you pass your test and then forget it.
he's like, don't do it the way they say. You're going to follow my rules, and that's that. And he must have done something right other than my lead foot.
Yeah, same here. My dad had a lead foot, so that's my
My dad did
excuse.
too.
There you go.
And he was the one, we were in a 25, and he said, hit the gas. I'm like, Dad, it's 25. He goes,
It's like
hit
nobody
the
goes
gas or we're
25.
going to be roadkill.
Yeah, there's a
And
line
we
of
were on like one of
traffic.
those roads. You ever be on one of those roads? If you do 25, you're going to get run over.
Yeah, yeah.
It was that kind of road. And then he put me on one of the highways, mild highway, but still a highway. 55. I'm
Yep.
going 55 because you're going to get us killed. Hit the gas. So I blamed him for that.
Yep.
But I also thank him for teaching me how to drive because his biggest rule was to drive defense, not
Yep.
offense.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I have to say, I must be a really good driver because I've had my license years and I've only had one accident.
Oh, that's all. Knock on wood. That's awesome.
Knock on wood,
Yeah.
one accident. And it wasn't even really my fault. It was the stupid duck.
Did you say duck?
Yes, duck. Quack, quack.
Do tell.
Oh no, I want to tell animal story like
Yeah, I
Dan.
thought you were gonna say like a deer or
Oh,
something, but no, she's had an accident
no,
with
it
a
was a
duck.
duck.
Like this
Quack,
bears
quack, duck.
this
Yes.
bears speaking to the pod world here, radio world. Come on.
All right. I had had my license already for, what was it? I got my license in 88. This accident happened in 95.
Hmm.
So I had my license quite some time.
Hmm.
It was my first accident. I'm on work time and I'm driving down going to the photo place. And I'm on an errand. And I stop because there's a duck sitting right in the middle of the road on my lane, 2-lane road. And I stop for the duck, figuring he'll move.
Right.
No, the little New York duck was a jerk. He was a Jersey duck.
Yeah. Uh
He had a
oh.
Jersey tude. He looked right at me as if to say, "You want me to move? You want me to move? Don't think so." So he stood there, and I'm on company time, but I'm like, "Hey, I still got to get where I got to go."
Right.
So I go around the duck, and I'm just getting one fender past the yellow line, and this college student, blonde bimbo teenage brat,
Uh oh.
driving daddy's car,
Uh oh.
late for school, was coming off a side street where there was a stop sign. Ran the stop sign, made the turn because there were skid marks on her side of the road, not mine. And she plowed right into me.
Oh boy.
Sent me across my lane, like back across, all the way to the gutter. I hit the gutter at a bad angle and it spun my car and sent me right back into the side of her car.
Oh boy.
Totaled at my car. I looked and the duck was still in the damn road.
That fucker.
So now I see a duck in the road and I aim for it.
There you go.
I aim for it. Those fuckers need to die.
That's how I feel about the deer. And not that I want them to die, but like those fuckers, like I've had three times I've hit deer. Knock on wood, it's never done any damage to my vehicle, but like one time I killed the deer. I didn't mean to. I broke its
Ouch.
leg, and then I felt terrible.
Aw.
And the other two, it was like a tap. One peed on my car, fucker, because I guess I scared the pee out of it.
I scared the piss right out of it.
Yeah, right. The other one jumped over my car, and its hoof touched like the front end of my car a little bit. But yeah, I've grown to be very, very careful. Like, and those were all when I was, well, the one that I killed, that one I was probably about 30 or 31 when that happened. But that was coming around a curve in like the woods of Pennsylvania, and like that's just like it was
They
there.
just jump out and say
Yeah,
hello.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
At
but
least it wasn't a
yeah,
bear.
yeah, that's
I had
true.
a bear do that to me once.
Oh, geez. Yeah,
I had a
that'd
bear.
definitely total your car.
I was coming around the bend on Reservoir Road, which is one of those sharp bends that you can't do fast. Even
Mhm.
I can't. Because you don't know what's going to jump out
Right, right.
in the woods. And I had a bear jump out and he just stopped right in the middle of the road as if to say, I'm crossing here. Do you mind slowing down a bit? And I did. Luckily, I saw him in plenty of time, so I
Right.
did stop. But he decided to sit down. I'm like, what is it with these animals?
In the
It's
road?
in the road. He sat down
Jace.
and he was staring at me. I'm like, if he comes towards this car, I'm putting it in reverse and I'm out of here.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Oh
like,
man.
no, I'm not giving him a ride. No hitchhikers.
Yeah. The worst animal that I ever the worst thing I ever had happen to me with a car with an animal was and I didn't it was already dead. It was laying in the road. It was a skunk. And
Ugh.
it was I had a very 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 low to the ground car, and I was going fast, and it was actually I at the time I was a church organist, and I was a church organist at 3 churches, so I would like go from like one to the other on Sundays. And it was after the last one, and I was going home, and I used to take this road that was really windy. I loved it because I could go fast, and it just was like felt like I was in like an X-wing fighter from Star Wars. Well, I come around the curve, and there's the skunk, and like I couldn't swerve to avoid it because it was just like there all of a sudden, and so I straddled it, and it hit the bottom of my car, and I'm like, and my car stunk like skunk for probably 2 weeks or more. It was that was the
Easily.
worst. I was like, and I always feel bad when I see a dead animal. I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, oh no. That was the worst. That's the worst. I think I would say accident with an animal to me.
I'm not that bad like with squirrels and stuff. Like you
Yeah,
see a
I'm
dead
usually pretty
squirrel,
good at
it's like
missing them.
okay.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than that feeling of running them over, even if they're
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
usually I miss
yeah.
them, but like sometimes the
Yeah.
dead ones you can't swerve because they'd
Yeah.
be in the other lane and someone's coming.
Yep.
With that thump thump,
Oh
it's like,
yeah. It's
oh,
really
I'm so
nasty. I'm like, oh my
sorry.
God. Yeah.
It's like you can almost feel the bones crunch in his porcelain
Yeah.
brain. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, so sorry.
Yeah. That's
And
so
then I
good.
would like say a little prayer, like, oh, sorry,
I do
please don't.
too. I do too. Every
You have
time I
to
see a
hang
dead
up like
animal.
please.
Oh, I do. Same thing. Same thing.
I'm like, I hope your spirit was out of that body already,
Yeah, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, poor
wherever
thing.
you are.
Yep. You're much happier now.
Now, if you were even slightly alive, you're not now.
Yep.
Much better.
Now we
All
know
good.
for sure you're not in pain.
This is so terrible. We're killing animals.
I know,
But
right? Jeez. Brutal. Brutal.
all right, I'm gonna change the subject on you.
Sure.
What is the last thing you bought that has turned out to be one of your best purchases?
The last thing I bought that has turned oh, my Instant Pot. I fucking love that thing. Like it's not the last thing I bought, but it's like the last
The
probably
most recent.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, I've bought candles and stuff. I mean, like candles are nice too, but like I love my Instant Pot. Holy shit, it is way better than I ever expected. I wound up buying a second one because it was so good, and I got the one with the air fryer attachment lid and all that. Yeah. Freaking love that. It was life-changing.
Yeah, I like my air fryer, I gotta say.
Right?
Kathleen got it for her birthday, and I think I use it more than she does. But
So what's your favorite thing? Life
a
changing.
99-cent purchase,
Oh, all right.
and it fits in your hand.
Oh, does it take batteries?
No,
Oh, okay.
manual,
Oh.
but it leaves you feeling oh so good.
Oh, do tell.
A back scratcher that extends.
Ah! You can get that spot that drives you crazy.
Let me tell you, when you are alone and
Yep.
you're single,
Yep.
even though I have my daughter, I will not ask her to scratch my back because
You
she
gotta-
never finds it.
Like you're rubbing up against the
I'm
wall.
rubbing
And
up on the wall, the door jam, whatever it'll be, and you still can't reach it.
you can take one
I
of those long
found this
spoons
little.
like you cook with, maybe. I don't know.
I tried my hairbrush.
Right,
I've tried
right.
everything, but you never hit the right spot.
Right.
I was in Five Below, and I saw this metal telescoping rake back scratcher.
That's cool.
Let me tell you something. I could put this all the way, extend it all the way, and I could reach the bottom of my butt if I needed to.
Yeah, there you go.
And let me tell you, you never realize how much your back itches until you don't have someone to scratch it for you.
There you go. There you go.
So buy yourselves back scratchers, ladies, if you're alone. It saves
I
the
love
door
it.
jam and the scratches. I've literally scratched myself on door jams.
Yeah, I know. It's listen, when you have that
It's
really
a real
bad
thing.
oh
I'm
yeah.
telling you.
Like if you're actually in public and something like that happens, like you're like one step away from asking a stranger, please scratch my back.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not that bad, you know?
That's when they think you have the heebie-jeebies because you're doing that shoulder roll to try and get the bra to
Yep.
hit the right spot, you know. And every once in a while you'll get it, and you're like, oh, oh, and then the guy behind you's looking at you like,
Like,
"Are
what the
you
fuck? Are
okay?"
you a cat? Like, what are you doing?
It's like, "Are you having like some kind of epileptic fit or something? What's going
Perhaps,
on?"
perhaps.
No,
Don't
I have a
judge.
vibrator in my undies and it's remote controlled.
And somebody just turned it on.
That is an awesomely weird thing, let me tell you.
You know what? I've often thought like it's it would be I would never trust Kevin. I would never trust Kevin because I know damn well he'd put it on like in the middle of me like I don't know maybe in school and that would be it.
Here's the thing, a friend of mine has such a thing,
Hmm.
and he gave me the part that I use, the vibrating part,
Right.
which is just a little silver egg. It's really kind of cute. You wouldn't know anything.
Hmm.
And you just lay it in there and, it fits and it's all good. Gotta wear tight underwear though,
I was just gonna
otherwise
say it just kind of sits there because like I feel like if I was walking it might
you
like
can
shift.
you could put it in if you wanted to.
Mm,
It does have a wire that, a thing that you can pull it out with.
gotcha. Like a
But
tampon.
yeah,
Okay.
kinda, yeah. But I like to just sit it between the lips and get the underwear, just kind of
Gotcha.
stuff it up in there, laying
Hmm.
there. But anywho, you didn't need that visual, so sorry.
It's
Um,
okay.
but see, he has it programmed and he designed it and he programmed it himself. It's all in his way,
Oh.
and
He's using his talents for evil. I love it.
it is programmed in his phone. He has a phone app. It has 29 different settings,
Holy God. What?
from just a light tickle to all out beating drum.
Wow.
They come in different rhythms. Like it could be bzz, 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 or it could be bzz, or it could be bzz, 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 bzz. And well, he had to try it out because he was getting a patent for it actually. And he's like, "You'll do." I'm like, "What will I do? What do you know about me? Hold on." He's like, "I got this thing," and he explains it to me, and I'm like, "So I'm your test subject on this thing? Like, am I gonna like fry or something? Is it gonna
Yeah,
fire?
right.
You know?
Oh my
Am I
God.
gonna be electrocuted?" It's like, "No, I've tested it out on me, but it's not the same. I want to know what it's like for a woman." And I'm like, "Okay, like,
Right.
how did you test it on you?" He goes, "Come on, we have balls." I'm like, "I don't want to know." Okay, fine. So he gave it to me, and we were at a car show. And let me just say, those 4 hours were torture.
We walking somewhere and he's just started and you're like you jolt.
I'm known for walking around giving out 50/50s and
Hmm.
door prize tickets and stuff like that, getting money from people. I'm good at that. So, yeah, I was walking around and every once in a while I'd go, and people would be like, "You
Are you
okay?" I'm like,
okay? I'm just
"Yeah, sorry,
hiccup,
hiccup.
hiccup.
It's a hiccup.
You told you so.
It's a
That's
hiccup."
perfect.
They're like, "You're hiccuping a lot." I'm like, "It's okay." Meanwhile, I'm like squinting my eyes. I'm starting to sweat.
It's like, where the hell are you? Stop
I'm like
it.
fidgeting. He's all the way on the other end of the parking lot.
Wow, that's got quite the reach.
He can do it from his house in New Jersey, and I can feel it in Pennsylvania.
Well, damn. This must have Wi-Fi capabilities.
It does.
Wow.
It does. It is high tech
Wow.
shit, let me tell you.
That's
But that's what he does for a living is he does computer stuff. So
well, Kevin does too, but he doesn't do things like that.
no, he's twisted in the brain, but
I
he's an
love
awesome
it.
guy.
I
He's really
love it.
sweet.
He needs
Yeah,
to make money on that.
he has.
Good.
He's actually like sold them. Yeah, he's got a
Awesome.
patent on it and everything.
Nice.
So
I've
like
heard
if
of
you
things
ever
like
see
this.
like
Wow.
vibrators that are app controlled, that's his.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
It was pretty freaking cool. It annoying but cool. And like he was watching, and I didn't even realize he was watching me.
Right.
And like he knew when it was getting to be like too much, and it was like real close to that happy spot, and he stopped.
Jerk. Oh my
And
God.
he put his phone away. I was like, "I hate you. I hate you. I hate you." He goes, "Would you rather have an orgasm right here in the middle of the trophy presentation?" I'm like,
Hmm.
"Yes, I would."
I can handle it. I could handle it.
I'm
I
like,
could just be
I'm like, "Just give me that test. I want the test.
yes.
I will
Listen,
pass."
I will be your willing test subject. You need to make sure you put it through all of its paces.
Yes. I will cheer so loud for those people getting their
Yeah.
trophies.
Yes!
Yes! Oh, yes!
Yes, I'm
Yes!
movie for you.
Okay, it was just the child's picture. Calm down. It's okay. This
I feel
is one seven
I
times.
feel like this has got to be in a movie somewhere because you know that sounds like a perfect
It would
comedy.
put Meg Ryan's
The whole
deli
scene
orgasm
to
to
shame.
shame. It would. No one would ever talk about that again. The car club remote control orgasm. I'm telling you. Mark my words, it will be in a movie someday.
There you go.
Might be Jerry Does Dallas, but you know.
Right. Ah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Like I think that's awesome that he's using his powers for evil. It's perfect.
Oh yeah. Well, he uses it for good, but now he uses it for evil.
That's awesome.
He actually created, I don't know which one. I'm going to have to ask him, but he actually created one of the first video games back in the 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I know the first one
And
I
he was
ever
only 19.
remember.
He was only not 18, 17?
Wow.
18.
The
Yeah,
first
he
one I
was only
remember is
18.
Pong. And then I remember Breakout and Space Invaders and Asteroids. Those were all like way back, like the
Yeah, no, we're
first
old.
ones. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
I know. They were Thursday night on the Flitterstock shows. Please tune in on Thursday night if you're into that kind of thing. Um, which I know Carrie is not. It's too political. But they were talking. Now, I felt older than dirt in this conversation because they were talking about Atari, and they were
Mm-hmm.
talking about the first video games like being Atari and Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them saying PlayStation. I'm like, PlayStation. Good God, I was in my 30s when that came out. Like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, come on. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, I feel old. And they're talking about like Pogs being like really cool. I'm like, yeah, I was buying them for my nieces by then. Like, I'm like, I still have Pogs. I still have two Pogs. They were Cinderella Pogs. That's the only reason I have them. But they're talking about all these things. I'm like, oh yeah, I got excited when the first video came out. It was Pong.
Yep.
And
I had a video console that all it
someone,
did was play Pong.
one of the guys on the panel, I don't know which one, I know it wasn't Elias or Dan, but they're like, what's Pong?
Oh
And I was like, oh
god.
my God. Oh my
Just
God, I'm
walk
having
away. Walk away.
like, if you don't know, I'm too old for you.
Yeah. I mean, I had the original. Well, I had a game. It was like a little game system. It just plugged into the TV, and it was
Oh
Pong,
yeah.
but that was it. That's the only thing it played.
Yeah.
And then I got an Atari, the original 2600, and I loved that. I mean, I played like, oh my god. I mean, that was awesome. Like,
Frogger.
Frogger and Adventure. Do you remember Adventure? Like the little guy,
Uh-huh.
Harry or something. I
Yeah.
forget. Like and oh, I mean, I liked. There was so many games, you know. And then like
There
you'd
was
get
Donkey
yep,
Kong
Donkey Kong, and you could. Oh,
and
but I
Frogger
liked.
and
You get like the little twisty like thing that was a dial, and that was like Night Driver. You could like drive your.
oh
That was.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it was so
I always
funny.
crashed.
Yeah, I did too. I was terrible at Night
I was
Driver.
terrible at that. I could drive in real life, not on a
Yeah,
no,
right.
I still
Yeah,
can't do it.
yeah,
Even like on the Wii, I can't drive on the Wii either.
yeah. No, oh, I got really good with Mario Kart. Because I had the you know with the little steering wheel that really helped
Yeah.
me. But then like I haven't played in a while. Now I want to play Mario Kart again. But Kevin always kicks my ass and it pisses me off. So I gotta play while he's working and get like caught back up and then you know play.
You know what I miss? Super Mario Brothers 3.
That was my all-time favorite. I'll
I
never
spent
forget that came
hours
out.
playing that.
Same. Well,
Oh my
I didn't have a Nintendo, but like my friend did. And so
my
we.
fiance did.
There we
My first
go.
husband, he had one.
Well, I eventually got an NES, but we actually the video store, the video like VHS video
Oh yes,
store.
the video rental
Right,
stores.
and they
Yes.
actually rented a Nintendo system. Like I had to like I put it on reserve, and I had it for like I don't know 3 days. I think they wouldn't let you rent it for more than 3 days. And then
Yeah.
like all of our friends, like there was like three. Well, I shouldn't say all. It was my boyfriend, and I was just telling you before the show about my friend Chris who joins us in this other game we're playing now. Well, he was my boyfriend's best friend. So it was like the three of us, and we're at like my boyfriend's house. I remember, and like we brought the game, we plugged, and we're like we got beat this. It was just, and we did. It was amazing, but it was just that was a great
Growing
game.
up, we had Odyssey, which was really, it was just a glorified version of Pong,
Gotcha.
but it did have different games that you could play, like baseball
Mm-hmm.
and a couple other, like a sort of a asteroid, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very simple, very basic. My dad loved it. He played it all the time. They got it free for coming to the Poconos on one of those tour things.
Oh, gotcha.
Talk about old.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember they went away for a weekend, and I was home alone because at the time it was, I think my boyfriend went away with his family or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the Blockbuster down the street and I rented one of their Nintendo systems and I hooked it up all by myself to the TV. And I was playing it the whole weekend. Well, mom and dad came. I had it for 2 days. I was returning it on Monday
Mm-hmm.
because I worked right next door. So I had it for Saturday and Sunday. Return it Monday. And I was playing it when they came home. And my dad's like, "What the hell is that?" And I told him it's a video game thing.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "I couldn't handle that." And here I am playing Mario Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually my ringtone on my phone.
Yeah.
And he's watching me. He's sitting in his chair watching me, watching my hands, watching the TV, watching my hands, watching my TV. Now, keep in mind, my dad was blind in one eye.
Mm.
So I understood why he couldn't figure out the paddles and stuff. But he's watching me and watching me. He goes, "Let me try that." And he tried it. He wouldn't give me back the controller. I said, "Dad, hold on. Let me restart the game. You
The
could be
two you
Mario,
could play
I'll be
together.
Luigi."
There you go.
He goes, "Okay, cool." So he'd watch me play, and then we switched. I became Mario, he became Luigi, so he could see the different things to do
Right.
to get to the mushroom. We sat and played, no lie, from 4 in the afternoon until 10 o'clock at night playing Mario.
Oh, good
And we
memories.
were addicted. And my mom's like, "How can you playing those stupid things? Blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "Mom, go back to your knitting. You're fine." And then he'd say, "Oh, Pat, just go read a book."
Wow. But good memories. Really good
It
memories.
was, and he had so much fun. He's like, "Did you buy this thing?" I said, "No, I rented it." He goes, "Oh, okay." So I returned it. I came home Monday from work. I came home at 5:30. He came home at 5. He wasn't home yet. Mom said, "Dad's going to be a little late. He had to pick up something." I'm like, "Okay." So we had to hold off dinner. He walks in the door with a brand new system
Yeah.
with Mario's
Of course.
Super Mario 3.
That's awesome.
And it was great. I'm like, my dad was like, "This thing's awesome."
Yeah.
My mom said, "There goes the family time."
There
I said,
you
"Well,
go.
we're playing together. We're all in
Yeah,
the same room."
exactly. It's still good. It still counts.
Yeah. But yeah,
Aw.
that was my introduction to Nintendo.
Well, see, you
My
are a
my
gamer at
daddy.
heart.
I am to a
Hmm.
point. I can't get into some of these new games. The technology's way past my
Yeah,
brain
I
level.
can't either. Like yeah, I prefer to play on the computer. And like the game we have, that I was telling you about, it's called Valheim, and it's not something I ever thought I would play because it's part survival, part crafting, part fantasy sort of. And but I will say that it because my problem with the new video games is that like they assume that they give you like these instructions like, okay, so all these buttons and combinations. I'm like, what? And like I can't remember any of it, and so I wind up just like smushing a bunch of buttons at the same time on some of these. But this one, like it takes you slowly and kind of like builds you through, like it gives you like it feeds you like stuff until you get used to something, and then like there's a new thing that happens, and so it's much easier. So
It's gradual.
yeah,
It's a learn as you go.
that's life.
Well,
Learn as
I'll
you
have to
go.
come visit, and
Yes.
you'll have to show
Yes.
me the game,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
we
if I
and
like
we
it, then I could be another partner for you.
well, we also have to. That'd be awesome, and we have to get together to celebrate something coming up very, very soon. I believe it's Friday that you have something to celebrate. So we're gonna have to
I
celebrate
have no idea what you're talking about.
when you get a chance. We're gonna have to pencil me in so we can like do lunch or something to celebrate your big day coming up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not saying anything because I don't want to.
Friday's just another day, people. Just
No,
another
it's
day.
not. It's her birthday. So maybe we
Yeah, and
can.
guess how I'm spending it?
I don't know how.
My daughter has color guard from 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning till 11 in the morning. And then we're bringing a friend of hers that's also on color guard with us to Olive Garden because they both want Olive Garden to spend time together. And then I'm taking them to the crossing so they can kill some time together.
Well, I mean, Olive Garden's good.
Yeah, but it's not
Well,
exactly
maybe KJ
fun.
has something up her sleeve. You never know.
No. This is This is a play date that was supposed to happen last Monday, but I was sick. So it just got rescheduled.
Don't worry. We'll go out to lunch next week, and we'll have a great time, and we'll make it really good. I promise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't
We'll
know.
talk off air.
We'll go out for lunch somewhere nice, and then we'll just go hang out at the adult boutique, and then and then we
Ah,
can buy something fun together. Not to be used
woohoo.
together. You know what I mean. As soon as I said that, I'm like, that
I
didn't
think the
sound right.
listeners would really like to know about that.
Yeah, right. Sorry, listeners. We can do a rundown on what we buy, but like, yeah, never mind. Anyhow,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God, we'll
stop
have to
now.
do a video that we can download.
I'm going to stop
This is our
now.
shopping trip.
Oh Lord. So, any
Well,
last
what
words?
buyers, what should we buy, viewers?
Yeah, right. There we go. What would you like us to check out for you? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna try the remote controlled vibrator.
It's fun, let me tell you.
Oh,
Hands-on experience.
all
And
right,
what's
love.
cool is that the app can be downloaded on someone else's phone. So if
Yeah,
I was
and then
with
they can
somebody else,
control
we
it.
can get the app
Yes.
and then, yeah.
I don't know that I want to give Kevin that kind of power. Anyhow, so
Tune in next week for giving Kevin
yes,
power.
we'll find out what's going on. So,
Who is the Dom and who is the sub?
oh, there we go. Next week we can if anybody listens and chimes in or whatever, we can be like, hey, what do you want us to buy? There we go, because that'll be our shopping trip. Perfect. All right, love. Well, it was awesome getting back into the groove and having our show again. I missed it and had a great time. And would you like to have the final say?
It's good to have you back. It wasn't the same on Monday nights. I was so
Aw,
lonely.
thank you.
And you were supposed to send me text messages so I could virtually vacation with you, and you never
I'm
did.
sorry. I totally forgot. I'm so bad
So
at texting.
I have other friends that are in Disney right now, and they're texting me virtual vacation. So it's been awesome.
I,
I've
I,
been to Disneyland and Epcot
I
and out to
apologize.
dinner,
I'm
and
sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
it's been a great week vacation. That doesn't end until Thursday, so I'm still on vacation.
There you go. Enjoy.
But also, like I always say, be nice, be friendly, use your
Hmm.
manners, people. It does not hurt to hold the door open and not slam it in the person behind you's face.
Amen.
And so there.
And so
And
there.
yes, I turn another year around the sun Friday.
Have a great birthday, and I will be in touch before that. And everyone else, have a great night.